And when I came back, it was way more clients.
Everyone on the team played a really important role.
I literally had to do extensive research because I didn't want to be at fault for nothing.
Just followed through with the plan, had a plan A, plan B, and plan C, so that if things didn't go this way, we have this quick alternative that we can easily implement with not really much extra stress or thought. Something possessed this dude to try to hold our website for ransom, and he locked us out of our website. Some hackers got your website, stressing us out. They're asking for $1,000, and they'll...
Welcome to the Affluent Sisterhood podcast. On this podcast, we'll be interviewing entrepreneurs and exploring their journeys to being a boss.
So as we know, success leaves clues.
Success leaves clues?
Yeah, I'm assuming that the people that are watching this are business owners, or maybe they want to be a business owner, and they can learn from us. They can learn from the people that we actually interview, all of the clues that we're going to be dropping on our podcast.
That's awesome. I'm super excited.
Yeah, me too.
Hey you guys, welcome back to the Affluent Sisterhood podcast. Today I have Maggie here with me.
Hey y'all.
And we're exploring part 2 of our funding episode.
So we wanted to make this episode because I feel it's a lot more to be said. And, you know, in true nature to this podcast, I really want to give y'all as much info as possible as to like the creation and the start of our business. And so, you know, one of the things I feel like we should have expounded on further in episode 1 is the scaling of our business, you know, and what that looked like for us. And then the last episode, we talked about how we hired the first person that we hired was my friend, and she managed the social media DMs on Instagram and the other platforms. We were mostly active on Instagram though. The next person that we hired was my other friend, and she was like our HR, and she helped us hire other people and, you know, added other people on the team. But the most impactful, everyone that we had on our team was impactful in their own individual way.
For sure.
And really dynamic too. But when we started outsourcing, that was when it changed the game for us. Do you remember, you know, well, for one, what is outsourcing for the people who don't know? Like, what is that?
Outsourcing is getting help from people in foreign countries. It costs cheaper, but they do awesome work. Like, we hired our own VAs from the Philippines, and they go above and beyond for us. Mm-hmm. They do amazing work. They're prompt. They're awesome people. They're spirits and everything.
Yeah. And for anyone who does not know, a VA is a virtual assistant. So the first virtual assistant that we hired was Shazabe. So if you're watching this, Shazabe,
shout out to Shazabe.
Shout out to Shazabe. So actually before we hired Shazabe, I had to go even further back than that. We actually hired, remember we hired this guy, his name was Yumang. Remember him? Yumang. Yeah. Remember him? Do you remember what he did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
I know. Had to go all the way back.
We forgot about him.
Yeah.
Shady tail.
Shenanigans. So business is crazy. You know, it's up and down. You like what y'all see on the front end is what you see, but on the back end, you have literally no idea.
Yeah.
So Yumang was the person who created our website when we first started. And he was in Afghanistan, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Afghanistan.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, so a lot of people think that they need to create a website, and you know, so that we was right along with people, but we also knew that we wanted to create a course, because if you guys remember in previous episodes, we were doing credit repair, and we were, you know, on the phone going hoarse, and we were charging $25. So we had to rethink it after reading the 5-hour work week. And we were like, how can we simplify this and like make this a lot easier? And the way to do that was to put everything that we had learned, everything that helped us to get our homes and our vehicles and all these things, put it inside of a course. Mm-hmm. So that's what we did. So we needed a website. We actually didn't need a website. We could have gone on these other platforms, but me thinking outside of the box, I'm like, I want to have my own thing, you know. I
Yeah.
want to be able to customize it and get
Yeah.
creative and do all these things. And also that was something to me that in the long run would be cheaper, you know, because who knows, these companies could sell their platforms and like, just who knows, you know.
And we're able to be more creative on our own, you know, on our own website. We can change whatever we want on there.
Yeah.
So we can customize it exactly how we like to, put our courses on there, go live from there, whatever we want.
Yeah, and we've gotten really creative over the years, and we've changed it, updated it, and it's been really fun, you know, seeing the growth from where we started to where we are now on our website. And so long story short, Mang did our website, and it was for low cost. And I think he started going through like the back end, the analytics on the back end. And I don't know if he saw how much money we were bringing in, but something possessed this dude to try to hold our website for ransom. And he
literally
locked us out of our website. And child, it is like, dude, do you think we were born last night? This dude was talking about some hackers got your website, stressing us out bad.
And it was him.
It was him the whole time.
It was him.
And then he said, they're asking for $1,000 and they'll, you know, my cousin is able to hack the system. Baby, it was a nightmare. I was so stressed out, like
literally,
because this is our bread and butter at this point, you know, like this is how we make our money. So it's like, you know, I wasn't gonna give him $1,000 because baby, you acting like, you know, it's not you.
Why we can't talk to the hacker? Why isn't he talking to us, asking us for the 1,000? Why is he going through you?
It just wasn't making sense. So honey, I ended up connecting with the you know, our website hosting, and I gave them everything, and they blocked him out. And baby, I blocked him from their site and everything, and then ended up reporting him because we connected with him on Fiverr. And Fiverr is this like outsourcing platform where you can get like a lot of stuff done, you know, like anything that you can think about when it comes to business and even other things you can outsource help.
Digital products.
Yeah. You can get a lot of stuff done. Like Fiverr
is a full website.
Yeah, it definitely is. So baby, I reported him on Fiverr, and you know, I don't even remember if he was apologetic or what, but he was definitely like shocked that we reported him. Baby, don't get it twisted. Like what?
Because you probably got other people like that before, Bookie, but
exactly. And the weird part about it is he had been with us for like a year. You know, and we were paying him really good. I feel like we were paying him long-term money, you know, to manage our website, and he was doing so good, but then he acted a fool. It's like, I don't even know what happened in his life for him to switch up like that, but literally he could have just asked us for any additional money and we could have been there for him, but you know, things happen. So we ended up, you know, connecting with Shazabe, and we found him on Fiverr, and you know, connected with him, and he's been with us. I don't even know how long has he been with us.
It got to be at least 5 or so years.
We started in 2019 for real. Started in 2019.
7 years ago.
So, and then Mang was with us for a year. So in 2020,
5 years.
Yeah, that we've been with Shazabe, and you know,
he's held it down this whole time, you guys. Like literally anything we need, he's on it immediately.
Yeah, and I really like it too, because I like the fact that we have our own website. So the ideas that come to mind in, you know, bringing things to you guys, to our clients, it's just so fun, you know, creating these things that are in your mind, and, you know, these developers.
Hopefully it's fun for Shazabe.
I mean, I feel like it is. He calls our website his baby.
Yeah,
even though
that's true.
It's our website. I swear down it's his.
Yeah. He enjoys all those edits and pop-ups and things like that.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's really cool. He's amazing. And then who was the next person that we hired? Do you remember? Who was the next person?
That's when I believe we started scaling like our personal team.
Right? Oh, okay. Okay. So the next person that we hired was Amber, because Amber was the one who helped with our credit department.
Well, see, at this time, I wasn't in the business to know Amber got hired.
Oh.
Or Jermaine. I wasn't in the business like that to
Oh,
know
because
that.
you
So
stepped.
when I came back, they were hired.
Oh, okay. So it's been times like we talked about that Dahl has stepped out and then come back in, and things have changed, and I like to try to keep things flowing because obviously this is the money that we bring in, and we need stability. So
Yeah.
and everybody got to eat, period. So once Amber was on, Amber was like the credit side of things, because at this time we were still servicing our clients. Like, our mentor was telling us it's important to still bring in streams of income in all capacities, and doing the services would allow us to still do that, even though I was like, ugh, I don't exactly want to do the services anymore because I enjoy my free time. You know what I'm saying?
And when I came back, it was way more clients than when I
Oh,
left.
really?
There was way more. I said, well, damn.
Really?
They got a whole, baby,
A
y'all
whole
had a whole
operation?
system.
Yeah.
Y'all had a whole system going on.
Yeah.
And I just dove in at first.
I didn't even realize that, because you did at different times when you come in. It is still going. It's still a locomotive, locomotion movement. Okay, that's
And it
interesting.
should be.
Yeah.
It was better.
Yeah.
Every time, not that I was in and out the business every single time. Okay, you guys, that happened twice.
Right.
Twice out of 6 years.
Okay, and it's fair and it's valid. And so what they
Don't
gonna do
judge
about it? Okay.
Anyways, but yeah, it was always improvements each time. So that's good.
Yeah. And, Amber and Jermaine helped to solidify the foundation, and they put, systems and processes in place because, of course, as a business, is going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to say over and over multiple times. And honestly, that does get annoying and frustrating. But you want to put systems in place so that your customers don't feel your aggression and your frustration. So they really were, key assets. Everyone on the team played a really important role, and it was so great. And then after Amber, then you were back, and we then started outsourcing, or did we already have?
We already had Rian.
Oh yeah, we had.
Because Rian was with us a long time.
Yeah.
Or in our earlier days too. Honestly, shout out to Rian.
Hey,
like seriously,
salute that young lady.
Shout out to Rian.
Yeah,
she was great.
Yeah,
like,
so she was our
first VA.
Yeah, she was our first one.
Rian was our first VA ever.
Yes.
And honestly, Rian was on her job. She helped make our lives so much easier. Like, she was going with the punches, going with the flow. When the flow was all zigzag all over the place.
Yeah, and it was so many times that it was all zigzag and all over the place.
Yeah, so shout out to Rian.
She held it down. She did. She was like secretary, but virtually.
Yeah.
So she handled the calls, all these things. Like, she did all these things, and that was great. And then the next person, so we started hiring our credit team because before we hired them, Dahl and I was doing things by hand, by mail, on the phone, doing these consultations.
Hours and hours.
It was absolutely a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And then we just started hiring out our credit team. Shout out to Lane. Shout out to Jodette. Shout out to Anjanelle. So those were like our core three that we started with and have been with for like years. Yeah, they've been 3, 4, 5. Like, they've been on with us.
Yeah. And they've also rolled with the punches as well.
Yes.
Like, literally our entire team, no matter if they're still with us or not, like, shout out to everybody, because we've had some rough times in our business.
And we like to be transparent about that too, because
we've always been pretty transparent.
And they respect that. They respect that, and it also, when we're transparent, it also keeps the locomotive going. It allows them to work efficiently, work harder, work smarter, because they understand what's at stake. And
they put their trust in us. They trust that we, when we're honest, and this is with life in general. I appreciate honesty. I appreciate clarity. I need it. Break it down for me, please.
Facts.
Just as plain as possible. Let me hear it. So I feel like that when you're honest with someone, it just gives them like, oh, I can trust them.
Yeah.
They're letting me know what it is straight up.
And see, me, I need you to you got to communicate with me, but also show me.
Yeah.
And so I think that we've been able to do that, and they've been able to do that for us too, which is why it's like when I say I love them, like I love them down. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if y'all know much about the Filipino culture, but I know they're super welcoming and like, you know what I'm saying? They'll just like, you come right on in, and it's the same
it's
way.
like family, just right back.
Yeah, exactly. And I know some people hate when they say, oh, you know, you come to a job and they're like, we're a family.
No, it's
disingenuous.
legit.
But like for real, it is legit.
They've been with us for a long time, and they've held it down. They've come up with ideas. We were stuck. Like they were,
and always so open to like, how can we help?
Exactly.
How can we help?
Offering help.
Exactly. And that is what to me is so important about outsourcing, because, you know, and also I did want to say that when we had because now, like we said in previous episodes, we don't have physical staff anymore. The only physical staff is Dahl and I. But now it is our virtual assistants that are working with us, you know, our credit team, and, you know, our HR department, and our, let me see, what else am I missing? Like my assistant. So they're all virtual assistants. And when we had physical employees, or physical staff, we didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
Like
we would have meetings, but it's like always, we didn't even know what the meeting was for.
Girl, and then we in the meeting, and because they're my homegirls.
We chit-chatting, baby. We gossiping. We catching up. We catching up. We been talking about business.
Like most of the meetings.
We had lunch.
Well, we was talking about work at lunch.
We were, but baby,
look, make sure the IRS know we
were working, but we were chit-chatting too. So
this is my homegirls, like literally.
And that's the part. You gotta separate business from homegirl, and we was homegirls too much.
Homegirl down, okay.
Yeah.
And shout out to them, because, you know, I still love them, and it's all nothing but love. But yeah, that's what we learned also with Dahl, you know, stepping away more recently. That's also what we learned too, because we'll go out to lunch right now, and just the last meeting that we had, it's like, okay, girl, how much time do we have? And she asked me about some tea. I'm like, listen, hold up, we can't get into the tea right now.
We gotta pay business first, tea later.
Exactly. So yeah, and when we had our physical staff, we were paying 6 figures in salary. And they were doing, like, it was our physical staff, but they were in different places. Like Amber was in Spain and in Japan. Jermaine was in Cali. Jolene was also in Cali, in different parts in Cali.
And we in Texas.
Yeah. And they were still doing virtual work. So, but again, we didn't know about outsourcing. We didn't know until later.
Yeah.
And, you know, so now we're at the point where we fully realized it was 6 figures in salary. And now, you know, what we're paying is under $5,000 a month. And I'm so proud about that, because 6 figures to $5,000 a month.
Yeah, baby.
Honey,
we needed to save that money on.
Yeah, and did. And it wasn't easy getting to this place, because for so long, Dahl and I had actually, especially when things kind of started spiraling after the custody battle, Dahl and I talked about for some time now. Even our financial advisors was telling us, you know, hey, you guys got to scale back. And you know, that was so hard. Like, you know, that was so hard to do, because it's like,
to kind of scale up, we had to scale back.
And
it because personal feelings were involved. So that was hard in that aspect.
Yeah, and also it's like, this is their life.
Yeah,
they literally
everyone this is their working jobs. We're like ending careers right now.
Literally, because everyone that worked for us I asked them to quit their job to commit to us.
Yeah.
You know, and they did. They walked away from so much stuff and literally like trusted us, you know, and it worked out so well for so many years, you know, but, you know, everything kind of can come to an end, but it's still all good. It's still all good.
We had to rebrand, rebirth.
Right.
We had to go apart just to come back together.
Yeah.
And be refreshed and made anew.
Yeah, and we did. And I feel like a lot, you know, when things ended, we did let them go. Oh, and, you know, the relationships kind of ended in a little sour way, especially for me because, well, really for me. I don't know if they were sour with Dahl, but with me because these are my friends, and I felt some type of way. They felt some type of way, but I had to keep moving forward, and I couldn't focus on how they were feeling because I still needed to keep moving forward. And that kind of wasn't right, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't right at all.
Yeah. So I did apologize moving forward, and I still have some apologies to make too, for my, what is the word? For my personal, not image, but yeah, personal growth. I still have some apologies to make, and I pray that God grants me the time to make those necessary apologies.
It's today. It's now.
Oh,
Not now, but I mean, the sooner the better.
yeah, that's true. That's
You don't
valid.
want to.
That's valid.
Have it just if it's on your mind, do it.
That's valid. And I will, just not today. Okay, so let's get into funding, because in the last episode, I really wanted us to dig deeper and talk about what we did with our funding as it relates to our family and how I've never heard of anyone doing this before. And I think other people should do what we did. Okay. If y'all did not know, funding is so crucial to your business. Because before we had funding, we only made $75 in like 3 to 4 months. Like we said, we needed money, and when we did get the money, we invested it. We invested it with our website developer, and he created our course for us. And then we invested it into marketing with, our business coach, Ashley. And then we invested it with our systems that we had. We paid our, these staff that were on board. We couldn't have paid them without this. It's kind of like the seed that we use to make this beautiful thing come to life. And that's how we made so much money so quickly.
Yeah.
So what did we do with our family? I don't even know how we thought to do this. I remember.
Go ahead, because like anything, baby, I was just on board.
Oh, okay. So this what happened. So our cousin, and it's so crazy because this cousin in one of the episodes was the person that I fell out with when I fell out with Dahl. And, I always felt like me and her was always locked in when it came to business. Like we was always locked in, and she would give me ideas. I would give her ideas. And I think at this time she was expressing to me that, she was trying to make some extra money. And I was like, okay, you're trying to make some extra money. We need, some funding right now, because at this time my funding was all tied up. And we needed more capital to make more money. And also I'm like, I think at this time I'm like kind of going through, I don't know if I went through the custody battle at this time, but I just know the funds that I had gathered was tied up.
Yeah.
I also did like some bad investments with some people, and it was tied up. And so God just gave me the idea that, she has this extra money. And that when we did our advertisements, can you explain to them about the advertisements that we did before I go into this? Because that's how that's what allowed us to make sense of doing this with the family.
Yeah. So we were getting money, through our clients and our business, but we were also doing ads on like tea pages or like comedians, like Instagram, social media comedians, whatever. And we would email or reach out to that page and inquire about, how we can do an ad with them. And sometimes it was hit or miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was hit or miss, like anything. But we would have our ad up. We would, Maggie and I would talk about, okay, who we're targeting with this ad, how much we need to make for, our bills, and how much we want to have left over for whatever we need. So we would come up with a plan, with the logistics and everything about what we were going to do with the money and all that. So we would target, our audience. That's what you have to do when you have an ad. You want to target the right audience so you can make sure you are going to get that sale, or, make sure you are going to at least have a potential client. Maybe they'll come back,
Exactly.
You just never know.
Exactly.
So it's really, you want to have retention.
Yeah.
You want to be able to retain your clients.
Yes.
Keep them buying and keep them happy.
Yes.
Number one.
Yeah, by way of our systems that we created, like our email systems. That's how we can keep retargeting them. You know, that ain't free and it ain't cheap.
It's not.
Okay, especially when you have a growing audience, because also at this time we went from 0 following to like 100 and something thousand of followers, you know.
Yeah.
So our audience was really growing. And then also too, what you were saying, we, like she said, we were doing these ads on these platforms like the Shade Room, you know, like
Landon.
yeah, Landon Romano. People from like Love and Hip Hop. We did one with Waka Flocka, you know.
Oh, Tammy.
Yes. So
His wife.
yes.
Tammy.
And those things cost. Like at the time, the one that we did with the Shade Room was like, I want to say that one was like 3,000. Girl, 100,000 is crazy.
No, I said a couple hundred. Wait. Oh, shit. I mean, shoot. A couple thousand.
Yeah, it was like between 2 and like 3,000.
Yeah.
And then every year, you know, of course, their visibility increases too. So the prices go up.
Of course.
You know, but you know, it is something that you need to track, which is, baby, y'all gonna have to pay us for that, because even this is like
too much.
Game. Okay, but anyway, so we tracked it, and with us tracking it, we realized that for every 1 follower that we got, we at least receive $1, and you know, we were able to flip that to make that 1 follower buy from us multiple times. And we never, rarely did we have a product that was $1. So we were going to get way more than $1 from that follower. But even if we were able to get a 1 purchase out of them, that would bring back what we paid in the ad plus some. So the math was mathing.
Yeah,
you know,
we were making turnaround.
Yeah,
like
more than that.
Right. So then that brings Maggie. Now at that time, I didn't know, like, you guys were having conversation about.
Yeah. Okay.
But from that point, Maggie then came to me and, you know, came to me with the idea of basically our family investing in our business through ads. So they would give us a certain amount of money, which whatever they wanted to give. I don't remember if it was a certain amount, and basically we would double it. Like when we would pay for our ad or sow into our ads in our business, we would double the money that they gave us and give it back to them.
Yeah, and so this is the part where we, again, didn't know what the hell we was doing. And also doing too much. Too much.
And not, like, yes, we came up with a plan on how we were going to use the money, but we didn't come up with a plan on
how we're going to distribute it properly. For our family, when we presented this, first of all, we tested it out on the first person, which was, you know, my cousin. I don't want to say her name, but tested it out on her. And I want to say, I don't remember how much she gave us, but say it was like $2,000 that she gave us. We took that $2,000, paid for an ad. That ad gave us back, like, I don't know, like maybe probably 1,000 followers, you know, 600-700 followers, like, you know, a decent amount of followers. And we tracked this as well. You know, we had something going on, you know, that we were selling or whatever. And we made sure to meet this quota. We did that, exceeded that, and then gave her back $4,000. Now, again, doing too much. Because that distribution, we should have ate more. We should have got more, you know, and maybe, you know, we just should have did the math a little bit better. Because that's our money. Like, you know what I mean? That's our money. But it still worked out because, again, one of those people that came in as followers purchased from us multiple times. And also what it did was, in our family, it was like, between our cousin group, and some aunts knew, you know, it was just like, okay, we got a way for us to fund ourselves, for us to be the bank, for us to make money and help each other out, you know. And this is a person that don't have a business. They just got the money, you know. But yeah, so we did that, and you know, that was cool. But at some point, it fizzled out. And the reason that it fizzled, that we stopped doing that, because I thought it was a great idea. And
it was a great idea. We
were doing too much.
Yeah, we were returning like their profit. And then we were barely making a profit. Their return was too large.
Yeah, and it didn't make financial sense
for our business.
On our end.
It made sense for them because they were banking, but
And then we just kind of slowly we stopped.
Yeah, we stopped doing ads, or we slowed down on the
we slowed down.
ads.
Yeah,
We just
and
had a
also
lot-
because that was like around the custody battle time when
Yeah.
it's like I couldn't even think straight. And
Yeah.
what we noticed was as we were doing the data was that every single time we did an ad, well, not every time because some of the ads were bad.
Yeah, but most of the time,
That's when our revenue that month spiked because we did an ad.
our engagement, our activity, like
So it was a good correlation between doing these ads and our performance as well as our growth. But again, going through this custody battle clouded my judgment.
Yeah.
You know,
and I could have stepped up as well. I at that time was very uncomfortable in the spotlight of anything.
Oh, okay.
It's still uncomfortable now, but I'm older now, so it's better. But at that time, I wanted none of that responsibility.
And that's fair. You know, now we understand what role she plays in the business.
Yeah.
And what role I play in the business because, you know, it's things I don't want to do. Just like it's things she doesn't want to do. It's things I'm not good at than things that she is good at and vice versa. So, you know, we know now when we were all growing and I think this is important to say too because it's a lot of people that are starting a business maybe by themselves, maybe with their family and they go through these hard moments and then they quit. And that's essentially what we did.
Yeah.
We did, but we picked it back up, you know. And so we stopped doing that. And you know, we shouldn't have stopped doing that. We just should have lowered the.
Yeah, we should have just tweaked what we had. But again, I believe that time was just really overwhelming.
We were moving too fast too.
Yeah, not only that, like we have moments if we can be this transparent in the business where we just weren't
aligned.
Hitting that, like we weren't aligned. No, and since we weren't aligned, sometimes we didn't hit the quota. Like we didn't, because we were focused that we needed to make this money and do these things, but we came up with plans, but I just feel like
the follow through wasn't
exactly the momentum and all that. That
all it would be up and down because we didn't always have a plan. And it would be like we talked about in the first season in the first episode where, you know, it would be like on the fly type things because I'm like, you know, we have to pivot.
Yeah. Gotta switch up mid, like stride.
But then it's like looking back now, we really should have, you know, just followed through with the plan, had a plan A, plan B, and plan C, so that if things didn't go this way, we have this
fallback
quick alternative that we can easily implement with not really much extra stress or thought. You know what I'm saying? But you live and you learn.
Yeah. We didn't like what we know now and all the wisdom and knowledge that we've gained. We didn't know at that time.
Yeah.
And we have, like, just in life, with life in general, you have to go through things to learn a lesson. I really feel like you have to learn a lesson, no matter what it is, big or small. Like, there's always something to learn. Like, you're not going to do this again next time, or you'll do it a different way.
Right. And it's about your outlook too. Because, you know, we could have looked at that and just been like, man, we really did. You know, we could have looked back like we really tripped out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we did trip out, you know, but now we're looking back like, okay, but we also learned this too now, you know. And I would say the next point that I want to get into is once we slowed down from that and we did not reach back out to family, you know, we kind of felt like we had to do it on our own. Then again, my funds were still, they weren't bad, but I had this thought that because my overall credit card utilization was like at 40, that banks were just going to tell me no, which wasn't true. And I didn't even try to apply because I was so pressed and scared about getting these extra inquiries that I was just like, oh, they're going to tell me no, like, no, you know, but that fear, I hate to say that, put us in a path of, okay, let's leverage more of our business credit. And so this is where Dahl really came in and did her big one.
Yeah, you guys. And I told Maggie this last time that I didn't know what I was doing for real. Like, when it came, like, she just gave me the task of
figuring it out,
finding funding. And I did enjoy finding it. Like, I enjoyed doing that research. It was nerve-wracking because I'm like, dang, I hope I did good. I hope this company not messing us over.
Right.
So I literally had to do extensive research because I didn't want to be at fault for nothing. Like,
Really?
yeah, that's
What would you be
scary.
at fault for? What would you be at fault
Like,
for?
I don't know. I just really wanted to do good. Like, I wanted to
Oh.
do good at something.
Okay.
At that time, I just really needed to be good at something.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so I was researching, different, what is it?
Lenders?
Yeah, different lenders and just looking at their terms, looking at the terms and conditions,
Girl,
baby.
you was reading them terms?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything legal.
Come on.
Everything legal.
Because period.
I'm not messing with it.
Yeah.
Like the small print, I read it.
Yeah.
I'm not playing around.
Y'all better take notes.
I'm not playing around, baby, because they could have in there something crazy and you didn't find it.
Yeah, that's true.
So you see your dang on APR is 50,000%
Yeah.
on the loan. Like what?
Right, that's true. And that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so exactly. Get loans that make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The numbers gotta make sense when you crunch them.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just going to different lenders again, doing my research, and then I would go to Maggie about it. I believe I came with a list. Like we had a whole not little, but a whole number set up situation, Excel spreadsheet of lenders that I applied to, lenders I heard back from, lenders that approved us, denied us, limits, like everything about that lender.
Mm-hmm. And if I could just jump in here, we have a course too, you guys. We have a business course that is available as well on our website. So if you're interested in all of these lenders and all of, everything that we have on this podcast, if you want to know more about business and credit, you can jump into the course. It's $67 a month. The regular price is $159 a month. So if you are interested in this course, definitely click the link below. You can also message us on Instagram as well and just say money course.
Or you can email us.
Yes. And our email is going to be somewhere in this video.
Yeah. We'll link the email. We'll link our Instagram, the course, our website, whatever y'all need.
Exactly.
We'll link that.
Jump in our DMs if that's easy and just send us a message that says money course and we'll send over the link.
Okay, yeah. So we had a whole Excel spreadsheet of just, the information about these different lenders and, the amount I applied for down to where the business was located, baby. We were truly in our organized era. Okay? We were trying our best to be organized. And, it worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out. I mean, we got approved for
over 250K.
Yeah.
And that time that you did that, it was
a few months.
Yeah.
It was a few months. And like in the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing really. And I mean, I didn't really know exactly what I was doing the whole time, but it got better as you get approved or denied.
You learn.
You learn, okay, why was I denied?
Yes.
Or,
that's facts.
And then when you're approved, it's like, okay, what did I put on this application?
Yes. So I can do this somehow.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was doing. And, as I got approved and denied, I just
tweaked it.
All that information. Yeah. And then for the next application, whenever that was, I just did exactly that.
Exactly, baby. If it works,
we got that moolah.
And we jumped straight into, the evolution that we had going on again.
Yeah, we started marketing again.
Yep. And then we saw the spike, we saw the connection, and that was great. But again, back to at this time, we're like still, I'm still trying to do my own thing and not do what God is telling me, which God is telling me, let your staff go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God is telling me to slow down because you're in hustle mode, and
been in hustle mode for
and that's not what's up. I don't ever want to be in hustle mode.
Yeah.
Never.
I felt terrible. At that time, I felt terrible for you. It's like because you had so many things to juggle and like you're like the boss. I'm the little boss. Like
what?
I'm actually not
the lowercase boss. That's
exactly.
Ridiculous.
I'm actually not the boss. You're the only boss, and so I just felt bad that
I wouldn't say that though.
I wasn't comfortable doing certain things, but also I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then it was like, oh my God, how can I help? It's like, how am I the boss? I can't even help. I'm not the boss here.
This girl's dumb. No, I would say I would consider myself just the visionary. You know, I would say I see us both as the boss. You know, and you should have always seen yourself as the boss. I think it's just a matter of you stepping into that role, even if it's you just silently, like right now, you're the boss, and how the team be calling me boss. I low key be like, baby, call her boss. Don't call her by her name. But I would never do that, because even then, I even when they call me boss now, I'll be like, girl, call me Maggie. Like, call me Maggie. You know what I'm
And
saying?
shout out to Rita, because again, she's the only one who ever called me boss.
Right. But now, like, Dahl, you know, Dahl works still. You know, she still does her medical stuff, and it's like they don't see Dahl as much as they see me, but don't get it twisted. That's still boss. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they know this. And because they know this, it's like you just needed to always have just stood in that position.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm here. You know, I'm a contribution, even if it's silently. Like, we started this business together.
Yeah.
We did, on the couch.
Yeah.
Even if one day you feel like, okay, stepping away from the business, hey, at the end of the day, we couldn't have done this together, especially the funding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, emphasis on, baby, you really got to that bag, you know? You really did that. So, and you know, you just needed to always step into that mindset, because that's literally who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a personal problem. Like, no, seriously, that was a personal issue, because I was uncomfortable. And like, I don't think I'm not boss material, but it's like, I like telling people what to do, yes, but like employees, I'm not like a instruct. Like, you know how you're giving out like tasks and duties. I can do that, but you would be telling me what to tell them, and it's like, okay. But for me to just come up with the task on my own and delegate different,
that's not your strong suit.
Yeah, like I'm like the most chill employee
And that's fine.
ever.
And that's fine. But again,
Super chill.
it's like God really be showing me, you know, what to do, right? But I don't have everything figured out. So that's why, like, I look to you guys to help me in the areas that I don't have figured out.
Yeah.
And you're great at that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thanks.
Yeah, you're great at that. So again, you need to just step in that and know that, hey,
I'm more comfortable now.
okay.
I'm way more comfortable now.
Well, cool.
Because I don't take shit. So, is there any advice you wish someone gave you, or you have any advice for your younger self regarding business?
Well, I would say, for one, pray on it, you know, give it to God first, because God is the one who gave it to you first. So give it back to God, you know. Write everything down. Write your vision down. Make it plain, like the Bible says. Though it may tarry, it will come to pass, because that's what God gave you.
Yeah.
So just trust that. And even if you don't have everything figured out, just trust that it is the divine source who gave you this information, and it is the divine source who can help you carry out that information. So release the stress. It's all going to work out. That gut feeling that we say that we have is the Holy Spirit talking to us, teaching us, guiding us. Trust that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't lean to yourself, because when you start stressing and all these, that's leaning to yourself. Leaning on God, get you some funding, get you a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's a valid mentor, and do the work.
For sure.
Do the work. What about you?
I feel like I'm having deja vu right now.
Wow.
Aww.
That's crazy.
Like, I seriously feel it. Like, when I have deja vu, I don't know how other people's works, but I'm literally sitting here in the vision right now.
Wow. Dang.
That's some crazy stuff.
That is crazy.
But some advice for my younger self regarding business. I feel like this is life advice for me.
Okay.
Stop being so shy. Like, I was very shy and reserved person. I still am reserved, and I know when I should talk and when to just be an observer. But I missed out on a lot of opportunities from being too shy. I will literally drive to the store. If I go to Target, if it's not the same location I'm used to, I'm going home. It makes me nervous.
No, but I do that too sometimes, though. But I don't know for what for.
I don't know that same Target. I can't be in and out because it's flipped around in there. I don't know where everything's at in there, so I got to go to the regular one. I go to.
Oh nah, girl.
That's me, but it's like, stop being weird.
Yeah.
Stop being so shy. Like, I've missed out on a lot of good opportunities that required me to be like more outspoken, and I just could not push myself to do it. Because I just don't like attention like that. I don't want to be in front of people talking.
Yeah.
Like, I can do it now, but
Yeah, I'm like, you do it so good now.
Like, at that
I
moment,
feel like you're more
up until
talkative
like, what, 2
than
years
me
ago,
when it comes to socialization with people.
I am a very social person, but for some odd reason, just most of my life up until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, just keep to myself in a corner. So it's like, if you're trying to build your business and scale your business, baby, you got to network.
Yeah.
You got to get out of your head and you got to network. My sister was taking me to so many networking events, and I'm just feeling like this, like a crab.
Wow.
Because I'm uncomfortable.
Because you feel like you don't belong there?
Exactly. I don't belong. And also, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many people. I don't have anything in common with them. You do. And that's how I was feeling. Like, I'm just so shy. I don't have nothing to say to them. We probably don't even like talk about the same thing.
Wow.
And they're real business. Like, you're a real business owner. They're real business owners. I'm not. Like, that's what I was thinking. So it's like, just grow up. Like, grow up, relax, get that money. That's literally
right, because a lot of these people you probably ain't gonna never see again, and you know what I'm saying, and who knows what they got going on.
If you do, maybe they can help you out.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can help them out. Like,
absolutely, because we did meet some really amazing people along our journey,
man.
Yeah, and you know, just I feel you. I be in my head too, especially now after have like, you know, broken up with you and, you know, our cousins and just friends. I really was in hermit crab mode.
Yeah.
And even in the business, I felt at times that, you know, who am I? Like, girl, you over here acting like, and I did miss out on opportunities and connections with people, but I used to feel so bad about that, but you know, I don't feel bad. I am who I am, and you know, we needed to go through the things that we went through, and everything is lesson learned, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. Like I said earlier, there's always a lesson to be learned.
Absolutely.
And these days, I welcome them.
Yeah.
I'm doing something dumb. Yeah, Jesus, let me know.
I know.
Let me know ASAP.
Right, because we're going to learn from it.
Yeah. And there's a bigger blessing at the end.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. It's been so fun. Make sure you guys follow us. And if you are listening in on all of our any podcast platform that we have, we are also on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram is
the Affluent Sisterhood.
Yes. And on all platforms, it is the Affluent Sisterhood. You can also find us on all podcasts under the Affluent Sisterhood. And if you guys are interested in anything that we have to offer, courses, if you want to figure out how you can support us, you can also email us. Our email is help@theaffluentsisterhood.co. Okay, so that's help@theaffluentsisterhood.co. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode.
Bye.
Bye.